I have to endorse unusually everything that's just been said by the previous speaker. It's spot on. A good example of that has to be Car magazine this month. The world's best car, it says. The smallest engine is a 5-litre V8. Get away. You know, there's one page in this magazine, one page on alternative fuel vehicles, electric or hybrid fuel cell, whatever. There's one page. Most of it is 5-litre V8. It is nuts. Norway. FT insert, 30,000 copies, 2 weeks ago. Front page, Lightning car. 5 pages in there on Lightning car. Amazing. That's a different attitude, a different prevailing attitude in the country. We are up against it still here. And this Formula E is what is needed to change people's perceptions. And the UK, America, the UK is, you know, we're all on the same side here, but out there, they're not. And people like Car magazine, who write that, you know, trash about the world's best car, and the best fuel consumption on that is 19 miles per gallon. Yesterday morning, walking along Marylebone Road, when the fog was high, and I was walking along about 7:30, and the pollution in the air was extraordinary. And that we've got to kick out. And as long as we like Car magazine can sell copies, polluting newsstands, because what Lord Drayton was saying about the younger people, about snowboarders, those are the people we need to bring on. The inspiration behind the Lightning car, I've got a presentation I better start in a minute, but that was too exciting, that presentation. Got to get excited. It's a racing, yeah. Yeah, I was a racer myself for 9 years, but very different aspect of the sport. So I've got a bit of conscience. But that just shows something about what's going on elsewhere. Now, how do I get this presentation started? Most importantly, on the Lightning car, we did set out to create a car which is good looking from every angle. Very few people will start with the back end of the car. Normally designers go home on Friday lunchtime and forget about the back of the car. I mean, go out there and look at it. Let's take a look at the one-looking car like the Alfa Romeo 8C. The back is a slab. You know, that is appalling for a supercar. We tried to make the car good looking from every angle. And that was a very clear design brief, because we wanted to attract the opinion leaders out of their Ferraris, out of their Astons, and into a car which makes a statement. And that's where Lightning comes in. So we call ourselves your partner in EV technology because we are a technology-based company, of course. So I'll run through briefly, because some of you know us now, we've been around for a while, but what are we? We're a team of engineers, marketeers, electronics experts, which came together to create leading-edge battery and charging technology. That's where we come from. This fast charging knowledge of ours is leading edge. And the Lightning GT is really the manifestation which creates awareness of our technology, of this expertise. We are also not like some others I can mention, like the Nemesis, for example, where they're not going to go in production. It's a Lotus-based car. We intend to put Lightning in production and deliver the first car next June. The car itself is, and this is very appropriate after the last presentation, it's the world's first true ultra-fast charging long-life supercar. Our batteries will do over 10,000 cycles and can recharge in just 10 minutes. Now 10 minutes is a huge charge, it's not practical. But with the new 100 kilowatt off-board chargers, we can charge our car from zero in less than half an hour. We have a premium air market positioning, 100% electric, emission-free at point of use. We're not in the debate about where electricity comes from. We can't do that. That is beyond us. That is for Eons and everybody else out there to think about. At point of use, it's about build-up of emissions, and we want to have a car which can give people what they want in a car, performance, looks and style, but emission-free at point of use. It's British conceived, designed and built. It is unique. As we get stopped in the car and people say, "What's it based upon then, mate?" It is not based, it's our design. It is a unique chassis, battery, motor combination. We're following the AT Carney to endorse our approach. We are a low volume, proper vehicle build company. We leverage our suppliers' investment so we don't have to invest. So we're buying in the motors, buying in the batteries, create our own battery pack. We are not a big OEM investing in huge amounts of money, we're buying in. Our battery technology is lithium titanate batteries, which is a nanotechnology coating on the anode to enable the ions to come in fast without heat build-up. This enables ultra-fast charging, massive charge acceptable, very stable. They do operate at -40, +55. Very expensive as well. The last point down there is got no cooling issues in normal use, and no bricking, which is great, or self-combustion issues. Thank you, Fisker. But we are reassuringly expensive. The batteries we're using are extremely expensive, but new technology should start at the top. All credit to Nissan and Renault, but boy, that's tough, and that's why it's not succeeding, because they're still expensive, and each car is costing more than that to build, I can assure anybody. Those electric cars are expensive to create and build. And mobile phones start at £1,000 a unit, so shoehorning expensive technology into low-cost cars is a struggle. And that's one reason they haven't taken off, because they're still expensive. We're trying to do things too quickly. I think there's a period of time. A Formula E will just help a lot. There's our car schematic. The batteries are integrated into the chassis to make the car incredibly stiff and strong, and also put the weight where you want it, which is central and low. The marketplace, well, I'll be really brief here, but big shift, as we know. Legislation is question mark, forcing the pace. Major owners are making massive investment. The infrastructure is lagging, but catching up. UK question mark there. Other countries are moving faster than we are. Not in terms of our innovation, which is, Lord Jason said, we are a very innovative country, but in terms of what's happening out there. There's a growing consumer necessity awareness, which I call it. That's at last coming through. And then, of course, the early adopters want to elevate their image and status by the car they drive. 0% the point of use. I've highlighted this. This was out last year. It keeps getting lost. Point of use, especially in built-up areas. Congestion grows in Europe, poor air quality. More than 4,000 deaths in London each year have been attributed to this. Now, the source of that was Mr. Burke, the campaign for Real Air. It came out last year. It's been kept quiet again, but there's definitely a lot of issues now surrounding health. Thank you, Tesla. I like to thank Tesla, because there are 2,500 100% Tesla Roadsters on the road worldwide. Important for us is they're providing us with the marketplace, because these owners have no car to upgrade to, like to fill this gap. The new Tesla S, amazingly, is the car of the year in the USA. If that isn't changed, nothing. If that is fantastic. 64 journalists, I think it was, voted for it overwhelmingly to be their car of the year. They've also announced 6 supercharger road trip stations in California and more statewide. I'm not an expert on charging. I'll leave that to one of our following speakers to correct me if I get anything wrong. But the supercharger road trip stations are good news. These are up to 100 kilowatt. I think the first one was 90 kilowatt. And that's their longer-term plan to populate the USA with fast charging. Now, in the UK, when we have in-town charges, I'm not a great fan. Berkeley Square, where you see the D-Wizzes charging, that's because their range is so limited. What's needed in the UK, longer term, is you only need about 50 charging stations. You need them to populate the main A roads and motorways. They're not needed so much in town. If you've got a Nissan Leaf and you're going shopping at Asda, 15 miles each way, you don't really need to charge at Asda because you can get home. Because 97% of Tesla owners charge at home. That's facts. As the market grows, you will need more charging points. No issues there, especially offices and other things. But what we really need, like the States, the States is huge, is, I believe, fewer, better supercharging stations. So thank you, Tesla. Holland's interesting. Our main interest in where we are establishing an office in January is in the Netherlands, and there's their number of charging stations. That's aggregate. They do have now some ultra-fast charging units at 50 kilowatts, charging points, but that shows in Amsterdam there are 428 charging points. Okay, I just said half of them aren't needed, but it's a smaller country, but that is a marketplace which is far more receptive to alternative fuels, and particularly electric, for transport in the UK. We've established, for us, we're a small company funded by one madman, but it's a brilliant concept, I love it. We're selling the first 20 cars. We are creating a special Premier 20 club. The selling price of the cars is €350,000. It is a premium expensive car. I spoke to the guy the other day who's ordering one, and he's got his 458 coming, and he's going to swap it for a Lightning Y, so he'll keep it as well. But he's paying that much for 458 with the extras. So yeah, we are in a marketplace where there are over 25,000 cars a year sold at over £200,000. It's a very premium marketplace, but our car will be very special. We mustn't underestimate the tax concessions that other markets give us as well. A car like ours in the Netherlands, you can actually get a car for free buying a company over a 5-year period versus another car. There's a massive difference between what they're getting. Here we have a £5,000 grant when you buy an electric vehicle. In Holland, tax package is 10 times greater than that. I've got a car again, I like seeing the car. And that's actually a computer one. That's the real car. That was in Holland last week. Our build plans, we have a very good head of engineering, a very good team around us, around me. We're setting up a new UK unit to coalesce the rolling chassis. We're then sending it all to Holland for finishing. We're in marketing and sales, paint, interior, electronics, setup, PDI and customer delivery. We are working with the Dutch because they are so much more receptive. Investment to date, over £2 million has gone into the brand creation. We have a Lightning brand registered around the world. That's very important. Interesting in America, getting registered. But we've now succeeded in the major OEM markets to register the brand. We are only seeking £1 million in now, January, to help our low volume vehicle production. We have banks, overseas ones, which agree to match it. And then we can produce over 70 vehicles. Our profit point is vehicle 21 on the 70 vehicle build. Our return on investment, we're cash flow positive after 20 months from now. We have a proper business model, which I can provide. We have IP filings, only 4, but there's some good ones in there. We have a global brand creation. We are, the Lightning brand, it's, that's where I came up. With the brand. I wanted to create a brand which sat quite happily at the top end of the marketplace, and I think with publications down the floor down there, particularly one of them where we're sitting alongside McLaren, of course we haven't got that brand heritage, but we are in a global market where new brands can succeed much quicker than old brands. Formula E will be commonly known within a year. Things like Google, things are created. Lightning is getting there, it's up top there. Interestingly, our fast charging team, particularly one individual, is now working on 3 or 4 actually consultancies, because fast charging is, as Jason pointed out, becoming more and more important. And we're working with a major bus manufacturer and other aspects on that aspect, because certain things with fast charging can really, really, really useful. And then we have future platform sales for negotiation on future models, investor exit, a trade sale, tier 1 supplier, Cleantech fund investment, emerging markets, we're off to China in a couple of weeks' time, corporate partner tie-up, consortium IPO, share buybacks, etc. There's the car. Back in here. So that's us. The Lightning story is, it's been to be honest, a challenging one, more challenging than I thought. I can't have any grey hair, very fortunate. The next year, we will deliver our first customer car in June next year. It won't be in the UK, unless David Beckham calls in 5 minutes. But that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a premium car to get opinion leaders given what they want in a car with zero emissions at point of use on a unique British design, British creative platform. Thank you very much.
Just explain what stage in the car build we've done in the UK, where in the UK?
Chassis build in Huntingdon, bodywork in Huntingdon. Battery cells come from America, China, America, and then we integrate with our packs to go to the chassis. So in Huntingdon, then powertrain on, it's a twin motor unit from Sheffield, a single reduction gearbox. It's a unique unit. which is the first one ready in January, but it's proven manufacturing. Britain's biggest electric motor manufacturer, actually. We'll need a lightweighting program at some point. The car all up weight will be 900 kilograms, but UK will do rolling chassis, batteries integrated, motor on, and then body in white, and then straight down the A14 to venture to Harwich and across to Holland, where in Holland they will be doing the exterior bright work, interior, electronics, communications, finishing up. The Dutch are very good at that. They have a reputation for coach work. They don't have a reputation for car manufacturing, so we'll work in partnership with them. So it's actually, it works very well, and also the Dutch, as a nation, say that the tax advantages they get, fantastic for them. So that's where our main marketplace is. The website's very interesting on electric vehicles. See where the main interest comes. Head of population is Holland, then Switzerland, UK, Northern Germany, States, Scandinavia. France, Italy, Spain, one hit a year. That's by mistake. It's fascinating.
You have an order book?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
Talk to you afterwards. Yes, we do, yes. We have orders from the Dutch, of course, the first. So.
It's going out about today, isn't it? At the end of the day, just talk to me.
Yeah.
Hi. Regarding range and the time for recharging for an average use, just not
for an average customer. So range of a standard car will be a usable range. Electric vehicles are fascinating. If you hammer an electric car, you can really destroy the batteries. If you hammer an M5 BMW, you can destroy it. You can do 5 miles per hour. If you don't have a racetrack, you can really get through the fuel. People don't realise that. People don't underestimate that. So our range will be between 100 and 200 miles. The usable range, I'm quoting 140 because I know that, I drive that thing. One of the interesting things about driving a car like that is you do tend to go a bit quicker in built-up areas. You've got to watch it because it's quiet. It's a very nice sound from the motors, but because you can whoosh away, you do. And you catch out super bikes all the time. It's great fun. They pull off, they look behind them and think they're not there, and there you are. Sorry. You have road-wise on electric vehicle driving, probably all know, but above 20 miles an hour, tyre noise, people hear you. Night-time there's no problem with the lights. During the daytime, electric vehicle, silent running, the driver has to be more aware. It is natural selection, so you've got to watch out people on their mobile phone, being zombies walking the street. But these things are, they have the same problem in terms of that, but it's up to the driver to be more aware. But in fast recharge, it all depends on, we can take any power we can throw at that car because of the batteries. They don't heat up, they don't have a carbon build-up. But the infrastructure is limited, it's coming. It could be suitable for racing as fast recharge, or battery swap, or I like the idea of 2 cars, that's very sensible.